thank you for tuning in. I am the Pied Piper, and as always, this is a Rob G production. Today, I've got something fantastic to show you. It's inexpensive, and it's pretty awesome. First thing first, I want to show you something kind of neat here. I got this little camera here, the sj4000, and I can control it. See? Hey! I can control it with a $30, very cheap, inexpensive LG Android phone. It's cheap, very, very cheap, and it works. Now, what I'm reviewing today is the sj4000, and this thing is basically the equivalent to a low-end or a mid-level range GoPro. It just happens to come with a really neat case here. Let me slap it in here and show you. It is waterproof. It is waterproof up to 30 meters, which ends up being like 90 feet, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong on that. The one thing I have to say about this case, though, is it will protect the camera from almost anything, a drop or a bump or whatever, but it's airtight. So this thing will heat up. You got to be very careful not to just leave the camera on inside of this case. So, okay. Just flip this little switch here, pop it up, and your camera falls out. Now, back to the phone here. You know, this webcam here, basically, this thing can go, or this camera and this phone, it can basically go 60 feet. Now, that's unobstructed, meaning not through walls, not through this and that. We walked 60 feet, the camera, away from this phone, and I could still control it. That's a wonderful, they only give it 30 meters, I think, or 10 meters? Yeah, 10 meters. But I got up to like 60 feet. So if you attach this to a drone and flew it up in the air or whatever, you could take some really good pictures. So, okay, the $30 LG piece of crap phone was able to go damn near 60 feet unobstructed. The camera itself, I'll show you a few things on this. You have a, if I can get that to focus a little bit for you. Anyway, you've got a micro SD slot. You've got a a mini or a micro HDMI out, and you've got a data cable. The data cable will connect, and you can turn this into a mass storage device to get stuff off of your memory card, or you can use it as a webcam. It's going to need software for that, though, to get HD if you're going to use it for the HD. Now, this right here is like $119. Very, very, very inexpensive for what this little guy can do. You hold the front here. Some people were confused about how it's operate. You hold this in here, and it turns on. And the very first cycle that it goes to that you're able to use is actually the camcorder part of it. Now, the camcorder will record in 720p at 60 frames per second and 1080p at 30 frames per second. The frames per second you can't really tell by the eye. 1080p video on a large screen on my 1080p TV looked just fabulous. Yeah, the only drawback to this camera is it doesn't have a flash. So when you click it, no flash comes out. So you got to have good lighting when you're doing it. It's got a very nice HD screen on the back. It's pretty nice there. And yeah, so you hold that in to turn it on, and you also click it to go through it. So now I am at 1080p, 30 frames per second. I click it. Now I go to taking pictures, which is a 12 megapixel. And if I click it again, it'll show me the pictures and the video. I click it again, and now it shows a menu. Let me see if I can get the menu to come in here, come into focus. Probably not. It's a very bright screen. You can see it in the dark. Okay, anyway, and then through the menu, you go up and down to select your stuff, and then up here to select it and go through the menus. That's pretty straightforward, as a matter of fact. The micro SD card that goes in here, I tried a 64 gig micro SD XC card. I let the camera format it, everything. Would not work. 64 gig of storage for this camera is definitely not going to work for you. A 32 gig micro SD HC card can be used. It has to be at least class 6 or above for the read or for the write to be fast enough for the HD video. This is about it gives about 80 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes in camera time. Of course, if you're not recording the entire time, that does get a little better. It is an awesome camera. Just to be able to control it with this from a distance, it's awesome. You can set it up for motion detection so that it'll turn on and start to record just off of motion if you like put it on a shelf and was trying to be sneaky or something. I ended up buying this so that I could use it as a dash cam, and it worked extremely, extremely well. It's very, very, very lightweight. The lens on it is very, very nice. It comes with this nice cleaning cloth because it does have, it is a little bit of a fingerprint magnet, but this cloth here, you could damn near polish glass, or you can polish glass with it. It's a Makeabees or a Makeables. I don't know how you pronounce that, but you could basically polish glass with this. Now, something else that's awesome about this camera is all the attachments. I mean, I'm not going to go through each one of these attachments or anything. This is the only one I needed in a mount to put in my car. But straight up though, you can mount it to a helmet, you can mount it to handlebars, you can mount it to a car, all kinds of different mounts in here. I mean, just fantastic. For the picture quality, hands down, the best little camera I've seen for this price. Why pay $300 for a mid-level GoPro when you can spend $120 on this, and it's just fantastic. Like I said, the only downside is there is no flash, but you know, with the micro or the mini HDMI out, you can connect it up to a TV and not need a device to play it back through. Just awesome, man. Geekbuying has this right now. I believe it may be on sale. You can always go check it out. I'll have a link in the description. I just love this thing. Oh, there's the Wi-Fi feature. Let me explain how that works. First of all, you got to have an Android phone on, and you hit this button here on the side. There's an up and down, and if you click the Wi-Fi setting, oh, I got to get out of the menu. Okay, if I click the Wi-Fi setting, do you see this light? It stays, it blinks until I connect. Now I'm going to try to connect. Yep, it went solid. So I have officially connected. It's pretty neat, man. Pretty neato. I have to give it up to them. They created a very inexpensive alternative to a high-end camera, and it is fabulous. You could, you know, slap this in your pocket and walk around and never even know it was there. Just a fabulous, fabulous product. Let me go over the stats one more time. It does 720p at 60 frames per second and lower resolutions. It does 1080p at 30 frames per second, 12 megapixel pictures. It will also do about 90 feet underwater with this case. Be careful with the case. Don't leave the thing on the whole time. There's also these little buttons so you can control the camera while it's in there. You can take it diving. I mean, the possibilities are almost endless. The Wi-Fi feature was just awesome thing to add for people that want to use drones or whatever. Overall, I have to say this is a win. Definitely check it out from Geekbuying if you're in the market for a inexpensive camera that works like an expensive one. I would say hook this thing up, man, and enjoy it. This is the most fun I've had with a camera in a long time. So I hope this helped you in some way. And if you have any questions, just ask. I'll be glad to help. Have a good day.